In the tense twilight of the Cold War, as superpowers armed themselves for a conflict that might never come, the United States faced a growing problem. Its armored forces, once the pride of World War II, were becoming relics. The Soviets had unleashed a new generation of tanks, faster, deadlier, and more advanced than anything the West could field. America needed an answer. That answer began as an ambitious dream. The MBT-70, a revolutionary joint project with West Germany. It promised cutting-edge technology, adjustable suspension, a powerful 152mm gun, and advanced targeting systems. But ambition soon turned into disaster. Technical disagreements, constant redesigns, and skyrocketing costs drove the program into chaos. What started as an $80 million venture spiraled to over $300 million by the end of the decade. When the MBT-70 finally collapsed, it left behind more questions than solutions. Yet from its failure rose a new determination: to build a tank entirely American, one that would dominate the battlefields of the future. The dream of a new main battle tank wasn't dead. It was evolving. And from the ashes of the MBT-70, the first outlines of what would become the legendary M1 Abrams began to take shape. Out of the ruins of the MBT-70's failure, the U.S. Army refused to surrender its vision. From that wreckage, a new project emerged, the XM1, a clean slate that would define the next generation of American armor. But this time, there would be no foreign partners, no divided command. The mission was clear: build a tank that was powerful, survivable, and truly American. Two giants stepped into the ring, General Motors and Chrysler Corporation, each determined to claim the title of America's next tank builder. Their prototypes rolled out in 1976, both armed with 105mm cannons and bristling with new technology. On the proving grounds of Maryland, engineers and soldiers watched as the two machines thundered across the fields, testing speed, accuracy, and armor. General Motors seemed the frontrunner, its design sturdier, cheaper, and more refined. But Chrysler had a secret weapon: a gas turbine engine, a roaring jet power plant unlike anything seen in a tank before. It promised speed, reliability, and unmatched performance. In the end, politics and vision collided. Despite GM's early lead, the Army chose Chrysler. The turbine engine had won. The XM1 was green-lit, and the foundations for what would soon be known as the M1 Abrams were finally laid. By 1979, the project that had begun as a desperate gamble was finally taking form. At the Lima Army Tank Plant in Ohio, the first prototypes of the XM1 rolled off the production line. Sleek, angular, and unlike any tank the world had ever seen. Soon it would earn its true name, the M1 Abrams, honoring General Creighton Abrams, the legendary armor commander who had led U.S. forces in Vietnam and transformed the modern Army. During the christening ceremony, Abrams's widow broke a bottle of champagne across the tank's gun barrel, a symbolic beginning for America's new Iron Beast. What made the Abrams extraordinary wasn't just its firepower or speed, it was its armor. Deep within its steel frame lay a closely guarded secret: Chobham composite armor, a layered combination of ceramics, metal alloys, and Kevlar. This futuristic shield could deflect and absorb the deadliest projectiles, from armor-piercing rounds to high-explosive warheads, making the Abrams nearly unstoppable on the battlefield. The tank's 105mm cannon gave it teeth, while its gas turbine engine gave it wings, propelling the 60-ton monster with unmatched agility. The M1 Abrams wasn't just a tank, it was a statement of power, precision, and American dominance, forged in steel. When the guns of Operation Desert Storm roared to life in early 1991, the revolutionary tank we had built met its first true test. The M1 Abrams, now fielding the upgraded A1 variant, did not simply enter battle, it stormed the sands of Iraq with an unstoppable momentum. Across the flat, unforgiving desert, Iraqi T-72s and older Soviet legacy tanks awaited. But the Abrams had the edge. Its 120mm smoothbore cannon, thermal night vision sights, and composite depleted uranium armor made it almost untouchable. The national interest. In the thunderous clash at the Battle of 73 Easting, a small force of Abrams crews found themselves outnumbered, yet they pressed forward, struck first, and struck hard. In the blazing daylight and the shrouding desert smoke, the Abrams became legend. Thousands of Iraqi armored vehicles were destroyed or captured, while very few Abrams were lost to enemy fire. Most of the losses came from friendly fire or mechanical issues. The desert wind carried the roar of turbine engines and the crack of main gun fire, and with each passing hour, the Abrams proved one truth. When design, training, and technology converge, dominance on the battlefield is not just possible, it's inevitable. The triumph of Desert Storm crowned the M1 Abrams as the undisputed king of modern armor, but the wars that followed would test it in entirely new ways. In 2003, as American forces rolled into Iraq once again, the Abrams returned, not to the open deserts of Kuwait, but into the chaos of urban warfare. In the narrow streets of Baghdad and Fallujah, the tank's massive frame became both a weapon and a vulnerability. Insurgents armed with RPGs lurked in alleyways, firing from rooftops and doorways. The Abrams was strong, but cities demanded more than brute force. To survive, it had to evolve. Thus came the Tank Urban Survival Kit, or TUSK, a set of battlefield upgrades that transformed the Abrams into a fortress on tracks. It gained reactive armor, slat cages to block RPGs, a remote weapon station for the commander, and even an external phone so infantry could coordinate directly with the tank crew. In Afghanistan, where rugged mountains replaced city streets, only a handful of Abrams were deployed. But wherever they went, they became the hammer of U.S. ground power, unstoppable, unflinching, and feared. The Abrams had proven that even in the age of drones and IEDs, the reign of the tank was far from over. As the 21st century marched forward, the Abrams refused to become a relic of the past. Instead, it evolved, again and again, through a relentless series of upgrades that kept it decades ahead of its rivals. The result was a new breed of machine, the M1A2 Abrams, and later, its advanced variants known as SEP, System Enhancement Packages. These were not mere tweaks, they were transformations. The M1A2 SEP introduced digital systems that turned the tank into a battlefield command node. Its fire control computer could track multiple targets, its sensors could pierce night and smoke, and its crew shared real-time data across the battlefield. The tank no longer fought alone, it fought as part of a networked war machine. Armor was strengthened, with depleted uranium layers, giving the Abrams unmatched resilience against modern anti-tank weapons. New thermal sights, GPS navigation, and advanced communications made it smarter, deadlier, and faster to react than ever before. Even as the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan dragged on, each new version, SEP V2, V3, and beyond, proved one thing. The Abrams was not fading into history. It was transforming into something more. A digital titan of modern warfare, blending raw power with cutting-edge technology. For all its power and prestige, the M1 Abrams was not without flaws or controversy. Its armor made it nearly invincible, but also heavy and hungry. The gas turbine engine that gave it unmatched speed also demanded enormous amounts of fuel, forcing long supply chains across unforgiving terrain. Every victory the Abrams won came at a cost, measured not in defeat, but in logistics. Then came the export dilemma. America's prized war machine was no longer fighting only under the U.S. flag. Variants of the Abrams rolled out to Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Kuwait, and later Taiwan and Ukraine. To allies, it was a symbol of strength and partnership, but to critics, it risked spreading sensitive technology into unstable regions, potentially tipping fragile balances of power. On the battlefield, the Abrams also faced new threats. Modern anti-tank guided missiles and FPV drones began to challenge even its mighty defenses. In Yemen and Ukraine, footage emerged of Abrams tanks being damaged or destroyed. Reminders that no weapon is eternal. Still, the Abrams endures, a steel paradox of triumph and vulnerability. Its very presence reshapes the strategies of enemies and allies alike, proving that true power in war is not just built, it's maintained, at any cost. As the world's battlefields evolve, so too must its legends. The M1 Abrams, once born from Cold War fear, now faces a new kind of war, one of drones, precision missiles, and cyber networks. To survive this new era, the Abrams must transform once again. Its answer lies in the next evolution, the M1E3. The M1E3 isn't just another upgrade. It's a reinvention. Designed to be lighter, faster, and smarter, it will integrate next-generation armor and an active protection system capable of intercepting incoming missiles before they strike. Its advanced laser rangefinders, AI-assisted targeting, and network-centric communication suite will make it more than a tank. It will be a battlefield command hub. Lessons from Ukraine, Yemen, and Iraq have shaped its creation. Every weakness exposed, every loss studied, every enemy innovation countered. The M1E3 represents not just continuity, but adaptation. For over 4 decades, the Abrams has dominated deserts, cities, and plains. Yet its greatest test lies ahead. Surviving in a world where technology evolves faster than steel can be forged. And as engineers work tirelessly to craft this new machine, one truth remains. The Abrams name will not fade. It will evolve and endure. Over 40 years since its first roar on the proving grounds, the M1 Abrams has become more than a tank. It is a symbol of American armored supremacy. From the sands of Kuwait to the mountains of Afghanistan, and now in the contested zones of Ukraine and Yemen, the Abrams has proven its ability to dominate the battlefield, adapt to new threats, and inspire both allies and adversaries. Its influence extends far beyond U.S. borders. Nations across the globe have studied its design, seeking to emulate or counter its capabilities. From NATO exercises in Europe to coalition operations in the Middle East, the Abrams has reshaped doctrines, forced innovations in tank design, and redefined what it means to control the ground. Yet, its legacy is not only about victories. The Abrams has highlighted the challenges of modern armored warfare, the balance of firepower, protection, and logistics, the cost of cutting-edge technology, and the constant evolution required to meet emerging threats. It stands as a reminder that in war, dominance is never permanent, but with vision, innovation, and relentless adaptation, it can endure. The M1 Abrams is a legend on treads, a machine that has carved its name into history, and its story continues, shaping the future of armored warfare for generations to come. Today, the M1 Abrams remains the cornerstone of American armored power, a testament to decades of engineering, innovation, and battlefield experience. From its earliest 105mm variants to the cutting-edge M1A2 SEP V3 and the emerging M1E3, it continues to adapt, proving that even a decades-old design can stay relevant in a rapidly changing world. Modern conflicts have tested the Abrams in ways its creators could scarcely imagine. In Ukraine, M1A1 and M1A2 tanks have joined Allied forces, facing anti-tank guided missiles, drones, and asymmetrical threats for the first time. In Yemen and other hotspots, coalition forces have relied on Abrams' superior firepower and armor to project influence across vast, hostile terrains. Each deployment has yielded lessons, fueling upgrades and shaping the next generation of armored warfare. But beyond the battlefield, the Abrams remains a strategic symbol. Its presence influences global military calculations, reassures allies, and deters adversaries. With ongoing modernization programs, enhanced communications, smart munitions, and advanced defensive systems, the Abrams is not only surviving, it is thriving. From Cold War ambitions to 21st century battles, the M1 Abrams has proven that dominance is earned through innovation, adaptability, and relentless determination. And as technology evolves, the Abrams will continue to roll forward, an enduring giant of modern warfare. From the ashes of Cold War uncertainty to the forefront of modern battlefields, the M1 Abrams has carved a legend in steel and fire. It is more than a tank. It is a symbol of relentless innovation, raw power, and battlefield dominance. Through deserts, cities, and mountains, it has adapted, evolved, and endured, defying threats that would crumble lesser machines. Every upgrade, every deployment, every challenge has forged it into an unstoppable force. As wars change and technology races forward, the Abrams stands ready, a timeless guardian of armored supremacy, proving that true strength is built to last.